All right, so we are here stress testing Tesla's full self-drive Supervised. That's what the kids are calling it these days. Version 12.3.3. Now, I just got back from a round trip from Miami, 230 miles, where my only disengagement was going through a toll booth, which I was told by several people, including Richard here, that you can actually go through a toll booth, but I was just exercising caution, me being cautious. That is Richard Almacher, ladies and gentlemen.
Richard, he had the first Tesla Model Y in Florida, did some work with us about that when he got it to show everybody you did a great thorough explanation of what its dimensions were and how it felt and everything. So he also has Tesla FSD 12.3.3, and I also have it. I have not had great experiences with it. I also went to Miami, but I used it very little because of my experiences with it.
So interesting.
But David and Dick and pretty much everyone else, including people who were skeptical that issues with in the past, have had a great time with it. So we're gonna do a couple of tests, at least 2, maybe 3, on the same route with different cars.
The old cattleman gauntlet, as I like to affectionately call it.
So here we go.
All right, so we're going to a grocery store location. So we'll give you a little aerial view. Check this out. We're going to be pulling out of here, doing a traffic circle, another traffic circle, heavy traffic, coming in here, and then we'll go into there, and then we'll go back and do a car swap. How's that sound?
We'll actually see the new Tesla store and service center over there.
Yeah, as we drive past in the distance, which will be fun.
Got the name on it now.
All right, are you ready for adventure?
Yes.
Let us ride. So you can see here, I'm engaging it now. We're in the parking lot. Pulling out.
And I think we are probably, I know editing helps you, skip through stuff, but I prefer to just see it the whole way.
See it raw. Now, I will do interventions, like I'm pressing the accelerator a little here, but we're going to try not to disengage. That's the big thing. No disengagements. So it's going on its own volition here.
So yeah, anytime you step on the pedal a little bit to speed it up, you can let us know.
Yeah. Otherwise, it is doing its own thing.
Should we take it off-road like we did with the Highland?
Blending into traffic circle traffic here.
This feels completely natural, like you're driving, David. Mm-hmm. You're sure you're not driving?
I am sure I'm not driving. Look at it. Just for a second. How could I have done that? If
I didn't catch your left
I used my Jedi telekinetic powers.
So driving with a knee trick. Dick knows about that.
Lift my knees
that's
up.
The original autopilot.
No knee contact, no hand contact.
I still use that method from time to time.
There's butter. That guy's just going over a white line like it's no problem. That's Florida for you.
Well, you can't tell from video. I know that. But this feels 100% natural, like you're driving, David. Actually, I would say this definitely feels better than when you're driving.
Shut up.
No, when you're driving, you're a little bit like I'm on the racetrack, David.
When other people are in the car, I have a way I drive when I'm by myself, and I have a way to drive with other people, which is what I call a considerate style. And then it is a spirited style when I drive by myself. Not reckless, but spirited.
Thank goodness I'm not in your car when you're by yourself.
No, it's my dad always said a good driver is an aware driver.
Yes.
So you can drive spirited but safe, just like you can drive slow but very dangerous, which Florida tends to be rather.
Just for reference, I want to let you know I'm going to take my car, my Tesla Model Y, this weekend and drive from Venice all the way up to the Eclipse in Ohio on Monday, and then on the way to Detroit, where I live in that area. So I'll be doing the.
And how many miles would you say that's
about 1,200 miles?
We should definitely get you documenting that. Your documentation was so superb on the last one. And just as a reminder for anyone who didn't read this article 4 years ago.
The one or two of you out there.
You worked on the original GM EV1 project.
Correct. Yes, I did.
And what else? What else was your background before?
Before that was GM Racing, which was all ICE engine based, and before that was pretty much everything was combustion engine. design, development, test.
They saw the light.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Like any great engineer, you use first principles, and you said, "Hey, you know what? Okay, so it says changing lanes."
I left the race group to work on the EV1.
So you actually we have
Pretty interesting that they took a racing team engineer
to look to
or
the
race-
right.
Oh
to
yeah,
see
there's in the distance is the Tesla
Let's see
way past those palm
Oh,
trees.
it's not visible
The
actually.
new
from
flagship.
here.
You kind of see the roof of it.
Yeah, but I thought we'd see where
It's
the
supposed to
sign
open
is.
this month, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what is it still on track? I hope that'd be great.
Well, it's supposed to open in March, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have had to put it on the books in March. So maybe they waited till April just to wait.
Probably. So you haven't
They
stepped
think
on the pedal again, David?
I have not stepped on the pedal. I was thinking about doing it a little while back, and then it gave enough throttle, and I was like, oh, I don't even need to do it. So I haven't done it since I haven't stepped on the pedal since we first pulled out of the hotel at the beginning of our trip.
I think it's worth noting that the Sarasota area is a big Tesla market,
Huge,
and
yeah.
it's underserved right
Oh,
now,
wow.
in both in terms of delivery
So
and
those guys
service.
all ran a red, by the way.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so this store that they're putting up here at the UTC Mall will address that, where people won't have to go either to Fort Myers or to Tampa to pick up their new Tesla.
Get the delivery. That's huge.
And they can also get it serviced at this location. Currently, there's a temporary location that's in South Sarasota, which is acceptable, and the staff there is very good, but it's definitely a temporary location.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just want to highlight what happened here because I couldn't see the lights when they switched to yellow. I was shielded by this by the roof here.
Yeah.
But I
Tesla
noticed
did the right thing.
I noticed the Tesla start stopping, and I was like, "Why is it stopping?" And then I bent down to look, and I was like, "Oh, it's yellow," and they're doing what we all tend
'Cause
to
you know
do
what-
here is when you know the joke in Florida, a yellow light means speed up.
Yeah. It's
So it's
funny
like-
that in the all the silly rules of the road books, yellow means come to a safe stop if you can.
Yes.
In Florida and many other places in the United States, it means step on it, go. So you
Like,
can beat the
if
red.
you can make it before red without speeding.
Yeah,
you know.
and those people in front of us, they went through a red light. That's about as clear as it could be.
This light is a little too short, and I mean,
It
you
is.
don't want to be in here 2 or 3 times. So
And that's the thing, this will always-
But the Tesla did the correct thing by
Correct.
slowing
It's
down
gonna
when it saw
err
yellow,
on-
and it didn't have to jerk or anything. It was,
No, it's incredibly fluid.
and yeah, I don't know.
You know what I like about full self driving? And I see other drivers around me, not because of me, but just in their own little things, interacting with other drivers. They get so frustrated, and my point is, it takes the ego out of driving. So I'm not trying to race around people.
Yes.
I'm not trying to leverage in. The car is being considerate. It's not being annoying, but it's being considerate and safe and still assertive when it needs to. But it takes the ego out, where it's like, "What do you want from me?" And
Well, except where
human.
I got flipped off.
Well, yeah, but that's the ego. That's the ego of a human.
That's the other driver.
Yeah, it was the other driver. Yeah, Tesla was being a little aggressive at that point.
It's like, God forbid. Okay, so look at it. It's green. Okay, so it stopped falling. I'm gonna give it a little.
Gave a little jerky.
I was waiting
Yes.
for the traffic to clear.
Yeah, interesting that it started to. Okay, it's gonna blend in here.
Yeah, like
Okay, so we're gonna
ideally,
rock this bend, and then we're gonna go through into this parking lot, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how it navigates the parking lot. So
like ideally, as a human, you see they're still turning. You just wait.
But it was
the
cool
Tesla
that it
started to go. It didn't jerk too much, but it was
No.
a little jerky. But it didn't like go fast and then jerk.
But I appreciated the
But it's good
initiative
that
because
it's-
that was very human.
It's good that it stopped pretty early.
Yeah.
Before getting like close,
Okay, another traffic
before
circle coming.
making those cars that were probably turning on red,
Correct.
think that we were going to run into them.
Correct.
It slowed down.
Let's see. So here's a four-way stop. Let's see how it behaves. So all these people should be able to go. For me, it's stopping and go. I'm not touching it. There we go.
It's sometimes it's just hard to be patient,
Yeah.
and
Well, I
even
think
if
as
it's a
humans, we're
split
like-
second different, like you
guys
don't know.
Do this too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I actually do that as my default.
Oh, okay.
So I could show everybody in the world how cool my car is when they look through the window.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm coming from. I'm just
It took me a while to learn that.
Yeah, you can put it back on that. Cause
I'm gonna hit the gas here. Just
You
keep
like
it going.
that? Yeah.
And so there's Trader Joe's going to the. That's where we put in the nav. So let's see what it does when it gets to its. Oh, here's a little speed bump too. Although we're going
Oh
slow
yeah,
anyway.
let's see how it deals with the speed
So
bump.
it's slowing.
I think it looks like it identifies that as a speed bump or a
It
crosswalk.
might be the pedestrian.
crosswalk, sorry.
Oh yeah, it's tracking these pedestrians.
But it's
so let's see
been
if it
slow
did
enough.
it. Okay, so is it going to come to a stop? So this is
Yeah.
Trader Joe's, and
It's
it
not
just
gonna
it's
park.
going to say here we go. Yeah, but it says here we are.
If you had voice navigation on, it would tell you that.
Yeah.
You're
So now let's go back to
Let's return.
Supercharger.
Oh, we didn't.
Okay, so now we're going back to the supercharger.
Yeah.
Right.
Now this is just. Well, let's see how it gets through the parking lot. Okay, so it's turning. Yeah.
And this
oh,
is-
oh, hey.
Did you do that?
I did not do that.
You didn't
That's the
touch
car trying to figure
I'm not
out.
sure why it didn't go
I
that
didn't
way.
like that lane.
It didn't like it, but let's
Maybe
see
it
because
saw-
right now, look at that.
Oh,
It's
oh,
like
that's a
it's
good
trying to
street-
track.
street calculus.
Maybe
Okay,
if you see a
stopped.
car coming from the other direction,
It's
it looks
gonna
like
Give it
it's
a little
coming.
nudge.
It looks like it's
nudge.
coming down a
Here.
one-lane street. You
There's
know.
a pedestrian. It's going to see that pedestrian.
So
Okay.
maybe without a line in the middle and the car coming down the middle of the lane, maybe it thought it was a one-lane street.
I have, from my experience, there is a different parking lot algorithm. It understands we are in a parking lot. It's going very. It's set for 18. It's taking this very aggressive. I'm just gonna hit the accelerator a little bit just to get us going. So I'm just feathering it.
It's
ever
very
so
Notice
slightly.
since you're going to a supercharger, it is preconditioned.
Preconditioning, yeah.
Because
And it is
It
being,
thinks we're gonna, yeah.
it's being extra slow
Okay, I'm
and
gonna
cautious
feather
in the
again.
parking lot,
Yeah,
which,
I'm just gonna feather it just to nudge it along.
which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big problem with people speeding through parking lots, but
Yeah. Okay, so it's doing its own thing here.
I'd like to see it try to park here, but
Yeah.
try that another.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Richard and I were about that.
mine doesn't park.
We were thinking of like the ultrasonic sensor cars. I don't know what
Oh.
the status is.
Probably right.
It might be coming a little later than the vision only cars.
Probably. I think I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so like I would go right now, and it is going. Great, that was
It
perfect.
feels very natural.
perfect
I mean,
blend.
of course, there's a concern in this parking lot. that
Whoa,
you-
see that guy? That guy needs FSD. Did you see him? He's
Yeah,
like,
well,
There's a concern here that you would never get in sometimes when it's very busy. Luckily, it's middle of the day, not that busy. But,
but yeah, we can do this.
so there's a tendency to be quick to get in here. Like
But I've heard
David
it's
had.
been
But it was-
assertive. Okay, so here's a person with a child. I would stop for them and let them go, and it does.
Let's see if the FSD stops or
Runs over the
No.
child.
What level do you have it on? Do you have
What's that?
the
It's on assertive.
assertive? Okay.
Yeah. So here, watching, and it's been really good about tracking where pedestrians. When I was in downtown Miami, there was people just kind of walking onto the street and then back on the sidewalk, cyclists, scooters. I was telling you off camera, I was turning left onto an intersection, and the scooter, like suicide cutoff, just like goes for it.
Oh, yeah.
Older FSD versions would have emergency braked, like, and this just blended right in. It slowed down to let the scooter in,
Yeah.
but it blended super,
So
just
well
like a human would do.
I
instead
have still
of
had some
freaking-
phantom braking with this version.
Oh, interesting.
Like tapping it.
See,
or
I
like,
would
or
let
hard braking.
I would let this person.
Just slowing down.
I'm gonna disengage because I'm gonna let this person in because I would do that, and I'm gonna say, let in the person into traffic, super
Yeah.
clear. That's gonna skew some data. All right, I'm
And
gonna
that's-
re-engage.
and that's more of like a social thing
Correct.
because,
And I want to train. That's what they want to see.
because they could be stuck there for a long time if someone's not letting.
Yeah, and that's a
I
corner,
mean,
and that would be a corner case. So if the gap opens, like for example, I wouldn't let this F-150 in because we're moving.
And because it's a big pickup truck.
But hopefully, and this person behind us is also saying that.
David.
Well, pickup trucks are people too. Stopping for this pedestrian, very human-like and courteous.
and waving.
That was all the car.
That was all the car.
Yeah, it felt very natural. Like for
Yeah.
a second, I was like, "Oh, David's doing this." It felt.
It is the
completely
machine. I would have
human-like.
run her over. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it felt just the way it was braking.
Okay.
Felt.
I am going
felt very
to feather the
human-like.
because I like an eighth of an inch on the accelerator. Okay, going
if
into
you-
the traffic circle.
And if you didn't, it probably would have
Here we
been
go.
fine. But
It probably would have been fine. That's a lot of it. It ends up probably doing the thing, but
just-
it
you're just nervous that it might not.
correct.
And you don't want to wait too long.
Yeah. So we're yielding. That would have been aggressive merge right there. So it's good that it waited. But this might have to be aggressive. Okay, so it is
There's
going.
that's pretty. Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Perfectly
Okay.
done. Better than I would have done. I would have probably jumped in a little quicker just to make sure that car.
Oh, I disengaged by accident. Sorry, I put too much on the. That was me. Okay, but I re-engaged. I'm not going to count that one
We have
because
to
that was
start
human
over.
error. That was human error.
No, we have to
Okay,
start
so
over.
it's getting over. You can start over. Okay. And then this should be very cut and dry here. Let's.
Okay.
Should I go through the traffic circles again? Let me go. Navigate to Ford's garage. I just want to do the traffic circles again. Oh, because I disengaged. Yeah. Navigate to Ford's garage. Oh, I need to turn on full self-driving. That's how that works if you want it to go. All right, so it's now full self-driving.
Getting a little,
getting really close.
A little close
Okay,
because,
it's gonna
but
stop.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
So, just for reference, I bought FSD when I was driving Deja Blue, my 2019
You're a sucker for a pun, just like me.
Tesla Model 3 from Michigan back to Florida. I think it was the fall of 2019. So I've basically been driving different versions of FSD from 2019 to today. I don't remember what the version was back then. It was maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So I've seen progressive increases. Sometimes I was really disappointed. Version 12, I really like. It drives like a human.
It's completely different. The end-to-end neural network training is the game changer. I would be as bold as to say, not discrediting the amazing work of the autopilot and full self-driving and AI team at Tesla, but the product was not ready. Consumers should have, in my opinion, it should not been in the hands of consumers pre-version 12.
Yeah.
It was. The diplomatic word is glitchy. I will say. It is not that now.
And
now it's all about corner cases.
And just from a customer perspective, I think it was a disappointment and a letdown. And there are certain people who are just excited to always be testing it and seeing it evolve. But for someone, a normal customer who might have bought it hoping for it to be like this, where it is now, you would be like, oh, it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Correct.
So. And you know what and we've had this conversation before, Zach. FSD in its form now, 12.3.3, I think is what I expected when we joined the program years ago.
Exactly.
I thought it would be this, and then you handle these corner cases.
Yeah, right.
But for the most part, it was spectacular.
Yeah.
Now it is.
No,
I would describe it as spectacular, and then we address corner cases like etiquette and turkeys in the street. You know, like these corner things that have to get ironed out, that are part of the craziness and randomness of the real world.
It's now like a $5,000 option.
Corrend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
And that's the thing.
Or less.
Correct.
We paid $6,000. I paid $6,000
I paid
at the time.
$6,000, and that's the thing.
4.5 years ago.
Because I'd absolutely recommend this option for $6,000. $12,000
$12,000 a lot.
is so much, and I think people would love to have this technology. And people are like, but it's worth $12,000. It absolutely is, but people don't have $12,000. That's a lot of money for people.
No, I mean, for me, it still has to improve to be worth any of it. I mean, it depends on your use, how much you use it. But yeah, $6,000, and of course, when you break that into monthly, what it comes to monthly, it makes a lot more sense if you're gonna make use of it.
$200 a month is a car payment in itself.
You could roll it into your car
payment
payment at $5,000 or $6,000, and it would be incrementally less than
something like
$200.
I'm thinking of what my logic is. If they're charging $200 a month for the subscription, and it's at $12,000, if they move it down to $6,000, you could do a $99 a month subscription. Even then, that might be a little too rich for the common consumer. You know, it'd have to be something like, be bold, make it like Netflix. Somebody even said, why don't you raise the price of all your cars $6,000 and make it standard? You know?
Well, there's another thing. You know, Tesla can link various things to your profile based on your key or your fob or your phone, you know, and why not link FSD to your profile? I've got 3 Teslas. I've got 3 Teslas. Why doesn't it work? Why can't I have it work in the one I'm driving?
Yeah.
Or if I'm renting,
Yeah, like a
if I'm
profile.
renting
You're
one
gonna feather it a little more.
from Hertz or somebody, why can't I have it, transfer for that short period of time? I know there's got to be a software download.
Well, the
That's
system Tesla has always.
Here's a guy sticking his butt out at us. Look at this.
Link it to the car.
Great. Okay, so we're in the parking lot now. It's saying, if you could see here, it's going to kind of go. It's this kind of a roundabout way to do it, but it's.
Or maybe.
Oh wait! Oh no! It's going to go here.
Go.
This isn't so bad actually.
Okay, and change to the. You can change to the supercharger now, right? I mean.
Yeah, let's just do that. I'll change the supercharger. So let's end this trip. We'll go to recents. Supercharger. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to engage. So we're back on.
So now we'll see and try to get out of this parking lot.
Which should be, I did this on the way to meet you, and it was like no problem. We had dinner at Ford's right there.
Lunch.
Or lunch. Where am I right now? What day is it?
You're still in Miami.
What year?
I have to wake up every day and remember if I'm in Florida or Michigan or California.
Those are what first world problems.
Yeah.
All right, so let's stop and way back. We all know that nobody really stops at a stop sign, but the NHTSA.
That's
And
the law.
some people have
What is it?
complained about this.
Over
as being-
99% of people don't come to a complete stop. They follow
Yes.
from the dead. Wow, so it's going to go.
But this is because
Wow,
there was a complaint about this in California or something, and
wow, this person went, and it slows
whoa,
down.
That person really jumped the gun there,
Cut
and
us
the
off.
car very smoothly let it in. So
Yeah.
I'm impressed because
That would have been an emergency brake, I think, in version 3.
would've
been-
even as a human, I'm not sure if I would so smoothly.
Florida is a great place to test because you've got drivers that learn to drive before there was ever a driver's test, and they learned in a Model T. So they do things
And
that
you've
you
got-
wouldn't expect to be done.
And you've got tourists and you've got snowbirds. No offense.
Yeah. Some
I gotta speed it up to
snowbirds,
35.
some snowbirds take offense at that moniker.
Oh,
I
there
don't.
we
I'm
go.
a snowbird, but I don't care.
It's a great.
Interesting.
I'd
Made
be
the lane
happy.
change without the signal.
You don't want to be
I
here
would
this
have made it.
summer.
I would have done this turn signal, even though getting into the right turn lane, I would have done a signal. But
Yeah, I would too.
that was just me. Now I'm going to edge it up. I am feathering it.
I think you
it's
should just
not-
let it go. It'll
Okay.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Let it.
You would let it go.
After this
Sometimes-
F-150, I'm going to see what it does, and if it's
Sometimes
done
it
aggressive.
rolls up
Okay,
to-
it's
it
doing
roll-
its own thing.
It rolls up to
Wow,
look.
very
So,
aggressive pull out.
Sometimes it rolls up just
Good
to
pull
look.
out for the speed. I think.
I had it once roll up and turn to the right to let it give clearance to another car that was turning left in front of me.
Now this left turn into the
I always
supercharger is
turn
interesting.
here.
Oh, you turn here.
Yeah.
It's going to go to the light.
Let it go.
Yeah, because this is this intersection up here is very dynamic.
It's not a great intersection. It's got a lot of issues.
It'll do it. It'll do
Yeah.
it.
Now this is interesting because the lane's there, but let's see how much it wants to. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
It's pretty brave.
Yeah, before
it's not bad.
it's decision about.
Oh,
when-
look at
Oh,
this.
no. Where's it
Ooh,
going?
okay. Ooh, that was interesting.
That's
Okay, but
not
it did it. Yeah, I wouldn't obviously. wouldn't have done
Indecisive.
that. Yeah,
Indecisive.
but it did smoothly. It wasn't tricky.
But why did it think it needed to?
I don't know.
But yeah, it was. I mean, if the car behind you was not paying attention and saw you start turning left, it could be an issue. If it
Yeah, if
if
you
you turn
try
back
to
in
shoot
front
the
of
gap.
it,
Yeah.
at the least they might get irritated. But
Or they might have just said, "Oh,
this
par for the
person
course
doesn't know
for a
where they're
Florida
going. This is
driver."
a Florida
Yeah,
driver.
Okay, so this is an unprotected left, and it's blind because it can't see
Yeah,
past
this
these
is
cars.
tough, but they
so
can
it's
see-
going.
It can see better than.
Okay,
we
so
can
it
see
went, and that was super smooth. Okay, so
Wow, very good. That was
that was awesome.
We got a big palm front and didn't run into it.
so
this
I don't
guy's
think it
crossed the line.
goes. I'm just gonna turn because we're basically in the line.
Okay, here we're done.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna go the same route as David went. Ford's garage. Oh, good. We're gonna go that way, and then we'll go to Target. I'll add Target, and I probably have to edit this. Yeah, we're on Target second. Do you ever have this? Do you ever do these?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have to edit it. I was surprised with the voice navigation work. Okay, we're on
Okay.
drive. Let's see if it will go ahead and start from here. Here we go. Heading out. This is the way I would go. I would think it would go there to the light and turn right. Oh, well, actually, it's
We got to get out of
yeah. See, I
the
would
supercharger.
I would go through the parking lot down here and then turn right onto this street. Oh yeah, it's gonna do the same as I would do. So that's sort of a sneaky back way, better than to avoid that
So
sort
we're
of
kinda
dysfunctional
doing
light.
this.
And it's actually doing it. It's very slow through the
Okay.
parking lot, which is probably slower. Oh, you know what's actually? I have it on not assertive. I have it on chill. So we'll see. Maybe I should have done assertive to have a full control test with two different cars, but we have a setting change. David's was on aggressive, mine is on chill for FSD. So we'll see how that affects things. But basically, so far it's very natural. A little slower through the parking lot than I would be, but probably as slow as you should be. Again, it's taking a full stop at the stop sign, which most, 99.9%
Right.
of people don't do, but they do it because basically I think Tesla was forced to legally when someone raised it as an issue, I think in California, but I know it was raised as an issue, and then Tesla sort of got rid of the option to let you roll through a stop sign.
Well, a driving inspector would fail you
Yes.
for not stopping.
Yeah, if any of us remember, I remember my driving tests 26 years ago, and that was a big thing. You had to make sure you did a full stop. So it sort of quickly jerked when it saw that car. It probably could have made that turn, but it was being extra cautious, and then it gave it an extra quick jerk to stop.
Right.
That was a quick rollout, just like he had on the other way. It rolled out pretty quickly, but still comfortably, naturally. It wasn't like race car driving, which I have experience with David. No offense to David, but he spends a lot of time on the racetrack, and he's very comfortable driving.
I can't
more
wait to do
aggressive.
that.
Yes, and it's not my. Well, the thing is, people say that I drive. Oh, that's a little bit too. It sped up and then had to brake. See, I wouldn't naturally speed up when I can see there's cars stopped at the light here. But it wasn't like it didn't jerk us.
So we're going to turn here on
We're gonna.
DeSoto?
Yep.
Okay.
And but yeah, I mean, people say sometimes that I'm driving like it feels much different when you're in control of the car.
Well, I think a few people have said that, and I felt it, when you're at a stoplight or a stop sign and you're the first car, it does take off pretty harshly.
Pretty quickly.
I mean, you can feel the pressure on your back and the seat, which is probably a little bit more than most people would like. So it's just an indication of the instant torque that these cars have.
And as a driver, sometimes you know what's coming, so it doesn't feel strange to you. But this is we might even have to wait here twice depending on the lights, but should be good. And I might actually cancel the Target.
That's our next destination, right?
Yeah, we have Ford's Garage on Target, but sort of in a time crunch here, so and the traffic is building.
It's Sarasota.
It's funny, it's getting quite hot now, but it's still April, so you have a mixture. Well, how much of the year do you live down here?
It's been varying, but 6 months would be my target. Daylight savings time goes away. Come to Florida.
Oh wow!
And go till the end of April.
That was interesting. See, it was a yellow turn light, and it did like David, and it stopped for it, like his did, like.
But then it went.
But it was a little ahead of the white line when it stopped, so maybe it felt like, okay, it's still yellow. I'm ahead of the white line. I should go. I'm happy it went because then we didn't wait through another light, and it didn't. I never saw it turn red. So.
You were in the intersection,
fine,
so.
But it's funny because it almost seemed like it was done. It was going to wait there for the red. But it was all, again, natural. It just feels much more natural right now, much less jerky than it did before. The neural nets are definitely snapping and working, right? How should we verbalize that? How are the neural nets behaving? So here we go. We don't actually want to go to this Ford's Garage, so...
You want to go to the traffic circles, don't you?
I'm gonna just cancel it because we don't want to go to Ford's Garage.
So you're gonna re-navigate.
I'm gonna take that out.
Now we're gonna go to. What are we doing? Okay.
Here we go. It's again on full self-driving. It's going into the traffic circle on the left lane. I think with David we were on the right lane, right?
Could be, but
Now it's on I'm not sure now. I should check that.
I think we were in the left
We were in
lane
the left
because
lane, okay.
we passed this pedestrian marker
on the right.
successfully.
Yeah. And you were watching that since it was on your side of the
Yeah. I want to make sure we cleared that, you know.
So it's looking good here now. I think actually at this point I might change. Yeah, let's change it mid-trip here. I'm gonna add the supercharger and then delete target and see how it deals with that after going through this one more roundabout.
Okay,
So
I think it's going to do okay.
Oh wow. Oh, okay, so it's going this way now.
Oh,
So we're gonna.
that's because of a change you made?
Well, it.
Oh, now we're going back the other way.
It's because it. I was wanting to add the supercharger after target,
You might have to edit this out, Zach.
but no, it's fine. We got the traffic circle here. We'll do one more. We'll go back to target.
Okay.
We're gonna go through these traffic circles in a loop.
Yeah.
I thought it was
It's going to
add
go.
the
It's going to go
supercharger
another
after
way.
Target,
It's
but
going to target the back way, so
Okay.
we're not going to do traffic circles now.
Yeah. We
Ooh,
got through.
Kia cut us off
We
there.
got through two
Hey,
traffic.
Kia, what are you doing?
We got through 2 traffic circles though. We did a little loop there. Yeah. See, the funny thing with the navigation is how. Oh wait. Okay. It seemed to be stopping for him. But it stopped. It slowed down, then it started going. Then I think it was slowing down again, but it made me nervous because he was already.
So you
I stepped
intervened.
on it,
Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it was fine, but it was too close of an encounter to risk it.
So now we're going to the supercharger.
Yeah, the funny thing with navigation, when you add a stop, it adds it before the end stop.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought it was gonna add it after the target stop. But anyway, we did 2 traffic circles. It did perfectly. It got a bit close to the curb for my comfort, but it didn't hit the curb. So
I've heard of some complaints of curbing.
I was afraid it was going to curb, but I'm a little more cautious than most people around curbs, where maybe that's more natural for people to drive closer to the curb. A lot of people get curb rash, and I don't, so I will say that's a good habit.
Well, I did drive over one curb with 12.3.1 over the top of it. So
Okay.
I don't know what was going on there.
Let's see here. We got quite a lot of traffic rolling through this light. We have a red light. Doesn't say no turn on red. I don't think it's recognizing no turn on red signs yet. Anyway, is it?
Yeah, it seems to know whether it's recognizing it or whether it's in the map database. You really don't know.
Okay, because it doesn't recognize school zones when they're flashing yellow.
Does not.
It has. Yeah, I'll double check it again. But
I
every
think
time
it
I've
did for
checked
me.
it
But
with 12.3.3.
well, 12.3.1, I guess, because I just got
4.1.
3.3. But
Every time I've ever tried it, it's just speeding into it. But I will try it again with 3.3. I don't know if I've tried it with 3.1, 12.3.1. So we'll see. Maybe 12 is actually able to handle it. Okay, I'm gonna let it try to make this turn now. Oh no, it wants to go there, but I want to go left here. So let's see what it's gonna do. No, it's gonna go left. The navigation says to go to the light, but I already got in the turn lane.
well, that's good. Hey, that's wonderful.
And it's nice.
You did what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice that it went this way instead of trying to get back into the lane, because once you're in this turn lane, it just makes more sense. And now it's gonna navigate us over to the supercharger, and
That'll be a wrap.
on our way. I like, I can see it. Like normally, I don't know. Do you normally drive this speed through a parking lot or faster?
Probably about 20, actually.
Yeah. See, we normally
which
drive.
is
I think.
Probably too much. But
Well, I think everybody does, though, just because. I'm gonna cancel it. Okay, we're good. We're at our destination. It was just gonna turn around the other way, but.
okay, do you want to wrap it up,
Yeah, we're
Zach?
good. We're good. I think it's very smooth and human-like. I'm impressed with it. I'll write more. In my situation on the interstate was it straddled the lane divider and just was driving halfway in 2 lanes with no cars in front or behind. So that was a very odd
case that I dealt with on the interstate. I don't know why it happened. It was no clear reason for it. But this experience here in city traffic is superb. It really feels robotaxi ready for the small short experiment we've done. But very good. Yeah, great work. Good filming. Good
Goodbye.
filming, Dick. Nice to have you on board again.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Scott Cooney. I started Clean Technica to promote clean energy and other sustainable alternatives, and for 13 years we've been moving markets. If we had a nickel for every time someone told us they bought their first EV, solar, e-bike, or fill in the blank clean energy solution, we'd be a cable TV channel by now. But we don't get those nickels. So unfortunately, we could use your help to reach a few more people. If just 1% of our audience chipped in a few bucks a month, we could hire dozens of great journalists and promote all sorts of climate solutions. It's easy. Just go to cleantechnica.com/support and sign up with a credit card in seconds. Cancel anytime. But we'll be sending out some cool perks too, so I think you'll want to stick around. With your support, we'll keep leading the charge. Thank you so much.